Good morning, children. Hope you are all safe by the grace of God. Let us get into our lessons. So, today we are going to discuss the separating the components of the mixture. In the previous class, we have discussed what are elements, compounds, and mixtures, isn't it? So, how to separate the components of mixture? The first method is magnetic separation. Using the magnet, separating the mixture is called magnetic separation. For example, how will you separate the mixture of magnet and chalk powder? By using the magnet, the magnets will iron pieces will stick to the magnet, right? That is, the iron pieces are magnetic substances. So this is magnetic separation technique. The next technique is evaporation. Evaporation, when you want to separate salt from a mixture of water and salt, so the mixture should be taken in a china dish and heated well. So once all the water get evaporated, the salt will retain in the dish. So that's the evaporation. By using the heat, we can evaporate the liquid and we will get the solid, isn't it? So thus the mixture gets separated. The same process is used in obtaining common salt from the sea water. Evaporation, by evaporation method, common salt is obtained from the sea water. You know this, we have already studied in our lower classes, right? Okay, now the next method is dissolution and evaporation. Dissolution and evaporation. In this method, we are going to uh, we are going to take a mixture of salt and water again. So the salt has to be taken in a salt, sand and water. Okay, the salt, sand should be taken in a beaker or conical flask. Add some water to the mixture and stir it vigorously. So salt, sand and water should be added in a flask or beaker, and it should be vigorously stirred so that, and warm it for time to time so that all the salt dissolves in the water. So meanwhile you have to warm the mixture also. By that the salt will be dissolved in the water. Okay, then after then heat the solution so that the water get evaporated. The water get evaporated. Evaporate the, so then you do, after getting after the salt get dissolved in the water, you filter the solution. Okay, you filter the solution, the water will be collected, the salt solution will be collected in a separate beaker. The salt solution will be collected in a separate beaker kept at the bottom, and the solution, the funnel, you will get a residue as salt and sand. Okay, so sand will be present in the, or sand will be present as a residue. Do you understand, children? So sand is thus separated from the, you know this method, how to separate the salt and water. So again heat the solution, so the water will be evaporated and the salt will be retained in the water, in the dish itself. Okay, so this is the method of dissolution and evaporation. Do you understood this method, children? Hope you have understood. Okay, now the next method we are going to discuss is distillation. Okay, distillation, you have heard about distilled water, isn't it? So how this method performs, the what kind of mixture can be separated? It is used to separate solid liquid mixture, homogeneous. Okay, homogeneous solid liquid mixture can be separated by this distillation method. For example, salt in water. Salt in water can be distilled by using this or can be separated by using this distillation method. Okay, how can we do this? We can here is the apparatus, setup of apparatus. Okay, setup of apparatus is here. So this flask is called to be distillation flask. Okay, this is called to be distillation flask, and the mixture is taken here and it is heated. The mixture is taken and it is heated, and the mouth of the container is closed tightly with rubber cork, and there is an outlet. This outlet is connected to a tube and to a Liebig's condenser. Okay, Liebig condenser, this one, no, like a tube like structure, no, so that is called as Liebig condenser. The hot vapors enter into the Liebig condenser. Okay, hot vapors. After heating, the water will evaporate, isn't it? The vapors will be collected through the outlet and enters into the Liebig's condenser. Here in the Liebig's condenser, what happens? The hot air get cooled. The hot air get cooled in. Okay, the hot air get cooled. You know that. While the hot air get cooled, what happens? It turns back into water. Am I right? You have learned about condensation, no? The same things happen, and the salt present in that water, present in the hot in the water will be will present in the in this distillation flask itself, in the distillation flask itself, and the water, the pure water is collected in the receiver kept below the Liebig condenser. Do you understand? So the mixture is heated. By heating, what happens? The solid, the water vapors get evaporated and passes through the outlet and enters into the Liebig condenser. In Liebig's condenser, the water is cooled. The vapors, hot vapors are cooled down. Hot vapors are cooled down, and because of the hot cooling process, the hot vapors will be converted into water droplets, and those water droplets are collected in the receiver, that is a flask kept below the Liebig condenser. So by this process we are obtaining the pure water. Here what is collected here, no? That is pure water. Okay, pure water. Do you understood, children, this method? So by this method we can easily separate the solid, liquid, homogeneous mixture. Okay, children, is it understood? So this is how the distilled water is prepared in the laboratories. Okay, distilled water is prepared in the laboratories by this method. Do you understood this method, children? Hope you have understood. So do you enjoy that? We are going to separate the liquid mixtures. That liquids should differ in their boiling point by 20 degrees Celsius or more. Okay, their boiling point difference should be 20 degrees Celsius or more. Those liquids can be separated by this fractional distillation method. The setup is as similar to the distillation method. Here the distillation flask is covered. The distillation flask is covered with the what is this fractionating column. Okay, it is covered with a fractionating column, and this fractionating column, in this fractionating column, the liquids are the more volatile liquids first enter into it. The mixture will be heated here in the distillation flask. Okay, in the distillation flask it is heated, and the more volatile liquid, that is the liquids which have less boiler point, no, they will be evaporated first. Am I right? They evaporated first and they entered into the Liebig's condenser, Liebig's condenser, and you know that in Liebig's condenser it get cooled down, and the liquid is collected in the receiver, So that then the vapors of the temperature of the boiling mixture remains constant. Okay, the heating process, the temperature, that heating source will have the same temperature until the lower boiling liquid distills completely. So the more volatile liquid distills completely, until that the same temperature will be maintained, and entirely fully all the low boiling liquid will be collected. After then the receiver is quickly changed. The receiver is quickly, this is the receiver, no? So this receiver is quickly changed in order to collect the high boiling liquid, that is less volatile liquid. Okay, so by this way, by this method, the high boiling liquid can also be collected. Do you understood? So this method is called fractional distillation method, and from the liquids obtaining by boiling a mixture at different temperatures are called fractions. See, every liquid has a different boiling point, isn't it? Once the boiling point of the liquid reaches there, for example, water has different boiling point and oil has different boiling point, right? So at that when the temperature reaches the boiling point of the liquid, the temperature will evaporate. So during evaporation, those vapors are collected, condensed, and the liquid is obtained back. So this is the simple idea below this fractional distillation method. By now we are going to separate the mixture using a separating funnel. Here we can separate the mixture by liquid mixture. Immiscible liquids can be separated by using this funnel. Okay, what are immiscible liquids? The liquids which do not dissolve in with each other. Okay, for example, oil and water. Oil, and when you pour oil to the water, the oil will float on the water. Such mixtures are called to be immiscible liquids. That should be separated by this separating funnel. This is the separating funnel. Are you able to see the picture of a separating funnel? So this is the separating funnel. So the mixture has to be poured into the funnel. Before that, using the the nozzle should be tightly closed. Okay, after filling the mixture, slowly open the stop clock so that the higher density liquid, that is the liquid which is at the bottom level, will slowly get down through the stem. Okay, get down through the stem, and it is collected in the beaker, here it is collected. You understood? So be careful and keenly watch until all the water get collected in the beaker, and this the oil should not be entered before enteringly. Before the oil drops enter into the stop clock, just close the stop clock so that it will not drop down. Okay children, so by this method you can separate the immiscible liquids. This is the working method of separating funnel. Do you understand children? The next method is sublimation. You know what is sublimation? Sublimation is the process of converting the solids directly into gases without converting into liquid, isn't it? Here we are going to separate the ammonium chloride from sand. Here ammonium chloride is easily sublimes. Ammonium chloride easily sublimes, and you know that sand will not sublime. Am I right? So how this mixture can be separated? This is the setup. Look at the setup. The mixture is taken in a china dish, and it is covered with the funnel. Okay, inverted funnel, and it is covered with the inverted funnel. And this so cover the stem of the funnel with cotton so that the vapors will not allowed to go out. Okay, then it is heated. The mixture is heated. So while heating, the ammonium chloride slowly, you know that it is sublimes, that is it is converted into gases. So after some time, stop heating, allow it to cool. You can see the small pieces of ammonium chloride. Okay, so small pieces of ammonium chloride will be seen on the inner part of the funnel stem. Okay, inner part of the funnel stem, and that is nothing but the ammonium chloride. Okay, the hot vapors of ammonium chloride enters into the funnel stem. After cooling process, it once again become the solid. That's why they are all collected here. Okay, so this is the sublimation process. By this method we can separate the solid mixture. That one solid should be easily sublimable. Okay children, do you understand this method children? Yes. Okay, now the next method is chromatography. This chromatography is a technique. Okay, this chromatography is a technique used when all the components of a mixture are soluble in a solvent. For example, the coloring substances of a flour or an ink can be separated by this method. Okay, so for example, if you are taking green color sketch ink means we can separate the, you know that green is made by blue and yellow. Am I right? Yes, those colors can be separated. How can we do this? Let us discuss. Chromatography is based on the principle of adsorption. In adsorption, a substance called adsorbate forms a layer on the surface of another substance called an adsorbent. Generally, alumina, silica, cellulose is used as adsorbent. The technique using paper is called paper chromatography. When you place a solution of mixture over an adsorbent, the different components of a mixture get adsorbed to different extents. So they move with a different speed on the surface of the adsorbent. thus the component gets separated. So here we are using the green ink, as I said, using the green ink, and we are using the solvent as water. The water is taken in the beaker. The water is taken in the beaker. Okay, children. The water is taken in the beaker. Do you understood what I said? Yes. That is the solvent, and the strip is placed with the green and ink. So keep the paper strip. It may be a chromatographic paper or a filter, a good quality filter paper. Okay, so this paper strip should carry the green ink, and it should be kept near kept inside the other end where you place the ink. The opposite end should be placed in the water, and leave the setup as such. So after some times, when the water reaches the filter paper, through the filter paper it reaches, and slowly what happens, the color, no, the blue and yellow color slowly start to move on in the filter paper. Okay, start to move in the filter paper, and you can see the different colors of blue and yellow on the paper like this. Okay, blue and yellow color inks can be seen on the first. We have used the green ink, but now it has been separated into green and blue and yellow color. Am I right, children? So this method of separation. So this paper, no, this paper is called is called adsorbent. Okay, this paper is called as adsorbent. This paper is called as adsorbent, and this colors, no, they are moving on the paper, they are called absorbate. Do you understood? So here we are using the paper, so it is called paper chromatography. Do you understood, children, this method? So the adsorbent in the sense, which is the adsorbent? Yes, the ink. The ink is called, or the adsorbent is called a stationary phase. Okay, the ink is called stationary phase, and the solution is called mobile phase, because the solution is passing through the filter paper and make the pigments to separate, isn't it? So that is called mobile phase. The band of colors obtaining on the paper is called chromatogram. So this band of colors is called as chromatogram. Chroma means color. Okay, chromatogram, and chroma means what, children? It is color. This is the chromatographic method. Do you understood the method, children? Hope you have understood all the methods thoroughly, children. So complete your assignment and report in the group without fail. Also learn the question answers well. That will help you for the upcoming exams. So shall we meet in the next class, children? Thank you.